So we are now recording this session, so if someone isn't able to attend, or if you have a burning desire to listen again, then go ahead and listen to it. I am Robin Bagent, and I will bring up the Blackboard site. I know this will thrill you to no end, she says with sarcasm. That's me. And I am at the main campus at CSI in Twin Falls, and my office is in the Hepworth building. They kind of hide me over in a corner, but I like it. And I run the Business Management and Entrepreneurship program for the college. Been doing it for about 3 years. Prior to that, I was Stop that. There we go. Prior to that, I did the distance education programming for the college. I was at Treasure Valley Community College in Eastern Oregon for a little while, decided that was way too small for me. And before that, I was at Eugene, Oregon. Before that, I managed a printing company, and before that, I grew up in Southern California. So, but we'll get into all of that as the term progresses. Let's see, my educational background, I went to University of Maryland, undergraduate degree, Information Systems Management is a glorified way of saying I studied computer programming that nobody does anymore. And then I went on to my first master's, which is in distance education management. And because I didn't want to start paying my student loans back, I went on for an MBA. It's amazing what not wanting to pay back student loans, and eventually you still have to. And that brings me here. Well, there is a side note. I would like you to introduce you to, it says Lindsay Woodard on your list. She happens to be my younger daughter. And I moved to Twin Falls, had never actually heard of it before, when she called me one day and she said, "Mom, I'm in love and I'm getting married and I'm moving to Twin Falls." I am very fortunate that she fell in love with a delightful young man, and she is now Lindsay Vetter. After I got here, they moved to Colorado, so I found myself here all alone, but it worked out. Now both my girls are here. If you have Susan Woodard as an instructor for math, that is my other daughter. And Lindsay and her husband Mark now live in Boise, and I'll let her tell you more about her. And I've droned on long enough. Lindsay, why don't you go next, and then we'll have Kelly go after you.
Hello. Like she said, I'm Lindsay Vetter, and I'm in the program pretty much because I'm starting a new business and just wanting to learn some of the basics and just kind of get a better understanding of what I need to do and how to do it. And like she said, my husband and I we're actually in Nampa, and I don't know what else you want me to say.
You have 2 doggies, but I have no grandbabies.
Not yet.
Okay, that's great. Kelly?
Well, hello. I'm Kelly Webster. I am from Twin Falls, Idaho, although I've done a lot of traveling. Lived in New York City for a time until I figured out soon after arriving there was not enough space for me. So I prefer backyards. I moved back to Idaho, lived in Boise for a time, and I'm 36 years old, so I'm sort of a non-traditional student, but got into CSI here a few years ago, and now I'm pursuing my business degree in entrepreneurship. And you know what? I really don't know what I want to do when I grow up, but I do know that this is a strong point for me. I've managed restaurants, bars, the Ground Round when they reopened. I had my hands into that a little bit, and I ran operations for PSI garbage company for 5 years, and so I have a little bit of experience in operations and public relations and what have you. So I'm just kind of trying to sharpen my skills up, and then when I get my bachelor's in business, I want to then pursue perhaps owning my own business. But for now, I'm just sort of going to look over the great big wide array of opportunities that business does have to offer me. And that's the, oh, I have a 6-year-old son, and we fish, camp, and do everything together. So I'm kind of a Mr. Mom.
Very nice. Okay, let's see. Let's move up to Jill.
Well, hello everybody. Can you guys hear me?
Yes. We sure can.
Okay, just wanted to make sure. Well, I'm happy to meet all of you guys. I was born in Portland, Oregon, but I've lived in Idaho since I was 2. I'm married. I have been almost 10 years. I will be this year. And I have 3 little people in my life, 14, 9, and 2.5. Right now, I'm actually finishing up my last semester. I should have graduated last semester, but I had a straggler English course that we won't talk about, so that's what I'm finishing up with this semester, and then I will hopefully be able to go to BSU starting this summer, and I will work on my bachelor's in business administration. As Kelly said, one of the things I like to say is I don't know what I'm going to be when I grow up. I definitely second that notion, Kelly. So we'll just see where life's going to take me after I get my bachelor's. Robin, like you, I would love to move on to get my MBA. If need be, I'll take it from ISU, but online is definitely more convenient for me. But that's my soapbox, and I love taking classes like this and learning new things, and I just hope to broaden my horizons with this class. So
wonderful.
There you go.
Very good. Do you all know that this program transfers to Boise State and you transfer in as a junior if you do the Bachelor of Applied Science with a business focus? So just making sure.
I did not know that.
If you do the straight bachelor, the general business program, then you end up, because most of the classes don't transfer, so you end up going in as a freshman. A high freshman, but you only have about 1 year of stuff done. So you'll want the Bachelor in Applied Science, and that way you don't have to do any more math either.
Well, are you talking for the general business degree?
Oh, are you in the general business?
Yeah, that's what I originally was going after, and I've already taken all the classes for that, but then I applied for my graduation, and the gal said, wait, you need English 102, so I'm taking that. And then I wanted to keep it business oriented, and I read what your classes were about, and I really, really liked them, so
great.
I wanted to learn more.
Okay, then I'm not quite so worried. Originally I was worried because the course of the BUSM, the business management courses, don't transfer to the business general transfer program.
Yes,
so
I do have
sure
all
in the right spot.
Yes, ma'am. I appreciate that, and that's a honorable.
So you're here because you want to have fun.
Yes, I want to learn more and broaden my horizons.
Okay, that sounds good. Christian, do you have a headset? If not, then you can type in the bottom where it has chat in that white box.
It sure helps to have a gamer as a husband, otherwise I wouldn't have a headset either.
I stole my son's headset.
There we go. You can see that he's typing because it has the little box. Don't think it's working. Oh, your headset. What you can do is, after you've got it plugged in, click at the top of the screen where it says Tools. Click on Tools, Audio Setup Wizard, and it'll walk you through making sure that it's working properly. And while you're doing that, we're going to skip to Barbara.
Hi, I'm Barbara, and I am a photographer here in Wendell, and I also work at the wrecking yard doing bookkeeping stuff, and I got really tired of every time you fill out anything they ask for education and I didn't have any. So I decided that to do something that I would use every day in what I already do. So that's why I'm here.
Very good. Do you have family or anybody else, any critters or anything?
I have a husband for 27 years, and my son's all grown. He's down in Jackpot.
Very much fun. Awesome. Okay. Let's see. Christian is still going through, so that'll be another minute. Have we gotten everybody? I think we have everybody. Okay. Then I'm going to go ahead and pull up Blackboard. That way. Try this way. Now I can make it smaller. That way I can, what if I share the whole desktop, and everybody will have an opportunity to do that before we're all done, then I can't see you guys. So if I just share a specific application, it makes it much easier. Okay. Okay, Christian, and everybody, in order to talk and have us hear you, underneath the big black box it says talk on the left, and you click on that so that the little icon turns blue, and that lets you talk with us.
Oh, there he is.
You may have to adjust the volume. I'm not hearing you. Okay, are you able to hear us? Okay, well that's a good thing. Let's see, what else? Did it work in the audio setup wizard? It wouldn't pick up my voice. Oh, so it must be a setting in your computer. You'll want to check with the help desk and talk with them about things that you can do to troubleshoot and deal with that. In the meantime, we'll just have you type to us today. So, using text, tell us a little bit about you. Do you live in Twin Falls or around Twin Falls? Very nice. Okay. And you're in the business management program. What do you want to do when you graduate? Taking over and extending Father's Refrigeration Company. Very good. Okay. Very nice. Well, welcome, Christian. Look forward to working with you. I thought we'd start by looking a little bit at the course site, answering some general questions, then we'd get into the first week's topics and go over those. The first thing that I want to bring to your attention is something new that we're doing this term. And it's under the Organizations tab in the top right corner in Blackboard. Well, obviously everyone is signed into Blackboard. You were able to get in here, duh. Sorry about that. I'm used to teaching the face-to-face classes today. What you're going to register into is BM&E peer-to-peer if you're in the BM&E program. And it's a new resource for you to help you be successful. To locate it, you'll actually register into it yourself. To locate it, you look for this box. You'll type the word peer, or any of the words that are in the definition or in the name, and it'll bring this up. See this little arrow? Click on that, and then you'll just click on Enroll and then Submit. And what that's going to take you to, and on your Blackboard homepage, it will show up in the My Organizations area, and you just click on it to access it. And this is a new site that is purely for your support. The person running it is Deanne Cox. She's in her final term here at the college. And she's doing this as her cooperative work experience graduation project. She wants to go into social work, and she needed something that included data analyzing and was a support feature. So all of these things together, she was able to develop each one of those skills through this project. Someone's, if you'll check your microphone, see if the sounds are coming from your world. Is everybody hearing that?
Yeah.
So if you'll turn your microphone off if it's you, whoever it is. Pretty banging. Thank you. Anyway, what this is a play. Deanne is here to provide support. The graduation rate for students going to community college, depending upon the degree program they're in, is somewhere between 12 and 18%. So out of 100 students who start an associate's degree program, likely no more than 18 of them will finish. And that's terrible. Luckily, our numbers in the business management program are a little higher. We're at about 25%. But even then, those are not very good numbers. So our hope with this site and with having Deanne as a resource for you is that when you hit walls, when you have difficulties, that you will make use of her and the knowledge that she's gained to be able to get the help you need. Her email is right here, and it automatically goes to her cell phone. Put peer-to-peer in the subject line so she knows to get to you right away. And she's not here as a counselor. She's not here to answer your quiz questions. She's here to help you get to resources you need so that you can make sure that you're successful. Maybe you're having child care problems, or you can't afford textbooks, or you're about to have your electricity turned off. You know, it's really hard to concentrate on learning when you're being pulled in so many complicated directions. So what she's done and what she's going to continue doing is to research all of the different resources and how you apply for them and the process to be accepted into them, so that she can work with you as you need something to help you be successful. It'll be very important. In addition to that, she's going to call periodically, not often enough that it drives you crazy, but every once in a while, just to make sure that things are going well for you. Because it's not enough to have things available. Sometimes you need someone to reach out to you. And then the third area and focus that she'll have is to be able to use this area as a way to get to know your fellow students. You're not going to be students forever, and to be able to have this as a way to start building your business network, it's a nice safety net while you practice those skills. And then as you're moving up in your company, other people will be moving up in theirs, and you can help each other to grow. So I hope that you'll take advantage of this area. Please register. Deanne needs to have pretty much everybody register in order to get enough numbers for her data. So I hope you'll take time to do that. There'll even be jobs, full and part-time jobs and different things that'll be in there. So hopefully this resource will get richer and richer as time goes on. Do you have any questions about this site specifically?
No, ma'am.
Thanks, Kelly. I appreciate that. And I'm not hearing from anyone else. Okay, Lindsay said no. Okay, then I'm going to go ahead and move into Black. Oh, did someone say something?
Nope, I'm good.
Oh, okay. Then I'm going to go ahead and jump into Blackboard and into our course site. And we'll have a quick overview. If you have not already posted your introduction in here, you'll want to do that by Friday at noon, or you will be dropped from the class. I don't want that. I'm sure you don't either. Announcements, I put everything in here, so that's where you go to when you first log in. The next area down is instructor information. You can email me, call me, stop by my office. If you do email me, please put marketing in the subject line or else the course number. I get about 60 to 70 emails or more per day, and this helps me because it puts your email into a specific folder, so I know it's coming from a student, and I go to those before I go to all the other ones. Oh, I do have office hours, but sometimes those office hours don't work for you. Just let me know and we can set something else up. Course information. This is where I put everything that's sort of generic for the entire term. And I'll do syllabus and schedule left. So I'm going to jump right into APA guidelines. Everything that you write for this class will be in APA format. The only thing that is going to be long enough to require a cover page is your final marketing plan. Other than that, you're just writing 1- and 2-page items, so just make sure that your name is on your papers and the date. That's all. There's a lot to APA, but really what I'm looking for is readability. I want it 11 or 12-point font, 1-inch margins, double spacing. And then, of course, if you are quoting someone else's information, please show them the respect of citing their information in the resources list and in the body of your document. Going back to course information, you are going to be working in teams on this project, in this class. So I ask you to go through this training. It won't take you very long, it's just sort of there. But it'll help you look at some of the challenges that teams can face and things that you can do to be able to avoid those challenges. This is a 4-credit class, and according to accreditation standards, every credit requires 1 hour of course time plus 2 hours of 1 to 2 hours of homework time. So since this is an online class, all of the hours are scrunched together. So you can expect 12 to 16 hours of work for this class. To help alleviate some of that, I encourage you to work in teams as you're doing a lot of the projects, and I'll be putting you into teams after a couple of weeks once everybody's settled down and we've all started working on our individual assignments. That way there won't be quite as much work for any one person, plus it gives you other people to bounce ideas off of. This Collaborate site is open until the end of the term, so you, at any time that you want to make an appointment with your team and just jump in and chat, you can. And before we leave, I'll give you guys some time so that you can play with some of the different tools that are within Collaborate. And if you want to be able to get in there with your team, you can. Below that is discussion, participation, rubric, and rules. Primarily, it's play nice with each other. Don't post things that are flaming and rude. If you are going to be contributing, make it a valuable contribution. Don't. I agree. Well, that was nice. That's interesting. You know, that doesn't help us. Contribute in a qualitative and quantitative format so that you're actually contributing to a discussion. Think of it as you're in a classroom discussion. You wouldn't jump in with, that's interesting. You would actually respond with something that furthers the conversation. And that's what you're going to do in the online environment as well. Below that is Collaborate. You use that to get into here. We'll post recordings into the Collaborate recording session. It'll look a lot. The recording will look a lot like this. It'll just say recorded on it. That's about the only difference. You access it the same way. We'll have some additional reading as we go along, and that's how you get into the CSI eBrary. It's an online library that CSI has. And there's a little short tutorial you can take, and then these are the books that we're going to be reading pieces from, in addition to our regular textbook. Plus there are other movies and other handouts and items that we're going to be using, so you'll get plenty of resources. Let's jump back to course information, go back to syllabus and schedule. And I'll quickly go over. I know you can read, so I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on the syllabus. In fact, I think in order to have you see it, I'm assuming you are not able to see it right now?
Yeah, I can't see it right now.
I can't either.
Okay. Okay, that's what I need to know.
I did just a minute ago, but it's gone now.
So come in here. Nope, that's fine. I need to come here and stop sharing that and start sharing Word. And there we go. Okay. So here is the syllabus. And you see my phone number, you see my office. Below that, we've got Eagle Mail, so the CSI email. Federal regulations with FERPA require me to use your Eagle Mail account when I am communicating with you, because you have acknowledged that you will not give out your password. Therefore, we can make the assumption that when we write to you, you are indeed you. When you write to us, you are indeed you, and vice versa. So please, when you do write to me, always use your Eagle Mail address. My spam filter is very strong, and it will help it from being eaten as well. Below that, let's see, mission statement, required textbook, small business marketing kit. This is the last term we'll be using this book, so luckily it wasn't too expensive. I couldn't find a textbook that covered very much on e-commerce, and I knew that was an important piece that I wanted to have. So the small business marketing kit was one of the few that actually discussed it. So I've been working with a publishing company, Cengage, and they have revised another one of their textbooks to incorporate e-commerce, and we'll be moving to that. Online students, noise canceling headsets. Hopefully the ones you bought aren't expensive. You can get them for under $10. Regular access to the internet, you'll need that, and then we'll have a lot of stuff on Blackboard. Once again, your Attendance needs to be posted, or not attendance, your introduction needs to be posted so I can use it for attendance. If you have a disability that's documented, you might be able to, you might want to contact Disability Services, see if there's anything that they can help you with. It can help you be more successful and help smooth the way as you're working towards your degree. Academic honesty, skip that one, need to go back. Plagiarism, cheating, please don't. They're just wrong. It takes more effort to do that than it does just to do the work. So please take time. If you're not quite sure how to cite something, you can always call the library. They'll walk you through the steps. They are great at that. You're not on campus, so the campus security for you is minimal. But just do keep in mind when you come to campus, if there is an emergency event, gunmen on campus or other violence, your primary job is to get yourself to safety. Preferably leave campus as quickly as possible. If you can't leave campus, take cover and do what you need to do to protect yourself. I hate that I have to talk about that, but it is important. Below that is the online course evaluation. And at the end of the term, you'll be asked to complete that. Please take time to do that. That does matter. Everyone all the way up to the president reads them. And when you do give your input, please make it constructive. It isn't enough to tell me that you love the text, but tell me why. Or I had students that said I wasn't available for office hours. Well, I'm there from about 8 in the morning till 6 at night and sometimes later. So I want to make sure, what was it that wasn't working for them? How else can I help them? So if you're going to be giving feedback, I appreciate having it as specific as possible. Once again, my office hours for online students, you can just give me a call, or we can make a specific appointment if it works better for your schedule. If I've scared you, you can drop the course by Friday at 5 o'clock and get a full refund. If I haven't scared you, but you get overwhelmed in the term, make sure that you drop it before 75% of the course has been completed so that you get a W on your transcript instead of an F, because neither one of us wants that, plus your financial aid would hate you. It is your responsibility to drop if you do need to. I am hoping that nobody drops. If you have difficulty, reach out. Don't let yourself get overwhelmed and freeze into inactivity. It happens. I've been there. Just don't let it happen to you. And finally, I have the right to change things as needed. Sometimes things happen in the news and I want to bring them in, and there may not be time to cover something else, so I make adjustments as needed. So we've got that. Any questions about the syllabus?
No, ma'am.
Okay, then the next one I'm going to bring up is the week. There's actually not a weekly schedule. It's the it is by module. Okay. Quick overview of the item itself. Spread that out so we can see it all. As you can see from the rubric, submitting items on time and following instructions is important, but just as important is your creativity. I want you to think as weird and wonderful as possible, because that is what makes marketing happen. An interesting marketing concept was thought of and implemented for a movie recently. Can someone tell me what that movie was? It even had President Obama involved.
Are you talking about Sniper?
No, but that one actually followed a similar format. You're right. No, I was talking about the one that had North Korea, and that they were supposed to be making all of these threats against us and threatening to kill people that were involved in the movie. And they weren't going to release the movie, and President Obama stepped in and said, "We are not going to back down. We have freedom of speech." Well, then word came out that it was actually a marketing ploy, and the movie had already been delivered to the movie houses. Unfortunately, it was such a bad movie, it didn't stay very long. What was the name of the movie?
Was it The Interview or something like that?
Yeah, I think that was it, yeah. I just find it so funny that they were even talking about having armed guards and people searched before they could go in because they were afraid of the violence.
And that was a marketing ploy. I didn't hear that.
Yeah, yeah. When I was a kid, one of the very first quasi-realistic movies that came out was The Exorcist. My mother wouldn't let me go, which broke my heart, but she and my grandmother went and said that they passed out smelling salts because people were so afraid that some of them fainted in the movie. It just so happened that the smelling salts had the logo of the movie theater, or of the movie. So yet another marketing ploy. So think creatively. Come up with something that other people haven't done. Let's have fun. Unfortunately, we also have to consider spelling and grammar as we're doing things because you want people to take you seriously as a business person, and they aren't going to if you can't spell and if you can't put a sentence together. So that is important. Let's talk about the schedule. As you can see, there's a variety of individual projects, a variety of group projects. You have specific due dates, and you have 3 exams, including your final exam. Weeks start on Monday and end on Sunday. I am not a huge stickler for 11:59. If you want to pull an all-nighter Sunday night, that's up to you. But keep in mind, Blackboard has a very miserable sense of humor, and it will likely drop you without warning and eat everything you've submitted. Yes, Kelly?
I was just curious, will we take one of our 3 tests, our 3 tests, do we take that at the testing center, or do we do that online as well?
They're online at home.
Okay.
You're doing enough work with me. You're working with each other. You're going to be doing reviews of each other's work. You're going to be doing presentations to me. I will already know that you know your stuff. This just gives you a different way to demonstrate your knowledge.
Okay, thank you very much. Yeah, I've got you 4 times since we did the schedule in December, you and I. So, yeah, you get a lot of me.
Well, good. Let's look at the individual projects first. We are going, and just like Kelly did, feel free to chime in. Click on the little hand icon. It'll raise your hand, and that way, or just say something, and that way I'll know that you have a question. This week we're going to be doing individual introductions. It lets you start to get to know each other and see how you blend as team members. We're also going to do the first worksheet. We'll do that together, or at least part of it. We'll start talking about it. The next 2 worksheets, so the first one looks into the business. The next 2 worksheets, worksheets 2 and 3, look externally. first at the customers and then at the competition. And you'll see that the deadlines, for example, the worksheet 1 isn't due till the end of next week, so you have some time to work on things. Worksheets 2 and 3 aren't due until the week after that. Depending upon the project, you have up to 3 or 4 weeks to get things done. You're going to be, oh, did someone have a question? I thought I heard somebody say something. Okay. Business cards, you're going to be doing those individually. That way, even if you're not hugely artistic, you can show me that you can create something. We will look at templates that you can just fill in. We'll also look at more customized designs that you can create so that everybody can at least create something in a printed format. And then as a group, you'll develop either a flyer or a brochure, or both if you want, and a postcard that highlights a specific event within a business. And that takes us through our print portion of the class so that you can understand some of the constraints and concerns if you're going to be doing print-based marketing. When we're done with that, we're going to get into e-commerce and e-marketing. And our first area that we're going to look at individually is security, because it's so important that we have that safety net in place for people who are going to be doing business with us or with the company that you're going to work with. We're also going to look at website layouts. Twin Falls Publishing, the company that we're going to work with this term, has a placeholder, but that's just because that one happened to be kind of pretty. And it isn't an established business. And I like that, and that's new for us. In the past, we've had businesses that had been in place for a while, and they already had their own identity. And although they were looking for some logos and some taglines and some ideas for marketing, they already had some preconceived notions. Well, in this case, you get to throw caution to the wind and try anything. So that'll be fun and exciting as a difference. So you'll be looking in week 4, you'll be looking at a variety of website layouts and what makes a website attractive and how is its usability measured. We'll be looking at data mining and how people glean information from when people do visit their websites. Then we'll move into social media, and you'll work on a variety of projects related to that. The first one is a YouTube video. And each team will be responsible for completing at least one, whether you choose to have each person in your, yes, Lindsay?
Jill wrote something you need to read.
Oh, thank you. Let's see. I'm sorry about that. Sorry to interrupt. My mic is out. Oh, my little guy isn't going to last much longer, so I've got to go soon. May I listen later for your information and the answers to the questions we have for Lindsay? Oh, please. Instead of emailing her, just go ahead and watch this, and then if you still have questions, contact me. And hugs to your little one. Okay? Okay, sounds good. Awesome. Anyway, everyone is going to do a YouTube video, either as a team or each person in your team can do a separate one. I have a camera in my office. If you happen to be in Twin Falls, you can borrow it to shoot your video. You can use your cell phone. If you have a smartphone with video, if you have your own camera, you can do it that way. You can do a PowerPoint presentation with video overlay. and post that to YouTube. We're going to be looking at a variety of commercials that and videos that have been on YouTube. We're going to be analyzing what makes a video go viral. We're going to look at how emotion is created and exploited within videos, and then you'll have the opportunity to create your own, and it will be for Twin Falls Publishing. So you'll be, however you're doing it, it will be in support of that. Everything that we do for the class will be in support of that. I see that Christian's computer is slowing down a minute, so I'm going to wait for a second. Those red dots are what tell me. They should go away here in just a second. I hope. Okay, he might be. Oh, you don't see the red dots? Okay. For me, they show up over his microphone. But they're not going away, so I think he has some other issues going on. I'm going to keep going, Christian. If you have difficulty, go ahead and chat and let me know if you need me to hold on a second. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead with, let's see, after we do YouTube videos, we're going to be working on Facebook and e-newsletter, and you'll put together a Facebook campaign. You won't actually launch it, but you'll be putting together a list of postings and a timeline for when those postings would take place. You'll put together an e-newsletter, and we'll talk about that and why you might want to incorporate. After that, you'll record a radio spot, and we have a guest speaker coming into the campus base, so it'll be recorded, and you'll be able to watch the recording of the guest speaker. And it's someone from one of the local radio stations who sells advertising, and he'll be talking about why it's good to advertise with radio and how you can utilize it in when you have smaller marketing funds to be able to, oh, good, I'm glad it's working, to be able to have it work effectively for you when your money is tight. Throughout this whole thing, we'll also be bringing in a variety of alternative marketing ideas, everything from direct selling to trade shows, not TV, the half-hour TV commercials, as seen on TV kind of things. Can't remember what they're called. But we're going to be talking about, thank you, infomercials, yes. How did I know you'd say it? And by the time we're done, you'll have looked at, 100 to 150 different kinds of things that you can do with marketing. And hopefully you'll have even more ideas. Then you're going to put those together in the using the format that I gave you for your marketing plans. You'll just be plugging in little pieces as we go along. Then you'll smooth it out, and we will look at each person's or each team's marketing plan and talk about it and any details that need to be adjusted. You'll have spring break. You'll come back. We'll be working on a media kit, and that's something that goes out to all of the different media outlets, regardless of their format, radio, TV, newspaper. And that's used when they need filler material or any kind of a focused follow-up. Let's say, for example, the newspaper is doing an article on distance education. And if they have a media kit that talks about some of the different highlights of distance education, and the online program of business management at the College of Southern Idaho, they can call me, or they can pull up some of the information that's been provided and drop it in as a filler if they need that. And it's a great way for them to be able to showcase your business, and it's helpful for your business because it sets you up as being an expert as they're dropping you in. You're the go-to person. So we'll be exploring that. You'll finish up your final draft for your marketing plan. We will get into sales, and we have some different guest speakers coming from different types of businesses regarding sales. Sales sure have come a long way. Before I took this program over, there was a class. They hadn't updated the program in about 20 years before I took it over. One of the classes they used to offer was sales. Door-to-door sales, to be specific. We don't do that anymore. We want people to stay alive. But we'll be talking about sales, the sales process, and relationship marketing. You'll have some time to practice your presentation, and obviously you'll want to get into Blackboard Collaborate periodically with your team. And then you'll be doing your presentations for each other. We'll record them so that everybody can enjoy them. And then that'll bring us to the end of the class. Any questions about the general schedule? We'll take a look at the week 1 items, but any questions about this design?
I'm here.
Good. Yes, Lindsay.
Wrong button, just kidding.
Oh, okay. Then I will close that. And if you do have questions, once again, just holler. Okay, so moving into the Module 1 folder. This is just our dates. Clicking on Module 1. This is Module 1. Ta-da! The outline for the marketing plan, I don't expect you to do anything with it. It's just for your own information for now. So that as we're going through things, you're not going, but what do I do with this? But how does this fit in? But why is this important? You have at least a little bit of some go-to information. And, oh, okay, I'm going to put that there. So it will come. The one I do want you to pay attention to is the Module 1 worksheet, and we'll go over that together in just a couple minutes. These are the topics that you're going to be reading about and exploring this module. I asked you to read chapters 1 through 8 in the textbook that you got. It's a very light read, so it's actually about the equivalent of 1 regular textbook chapter. Please make sure that you have your personal introduction turned in by tomorrow at noon so you don't get dropped. And you'll submit your Who is Your Company by the end of week 2. And there we go. Support material, so everything that we have related to this week or this module. A variety of videos that talk about the different topics. A little bit about why it's important to know the business that you're going to be working with. I have a few students, 2 specifically, who have graduated. One's in Boise, one's in Portland, and they're now doing business or marketing plans for other small businesses. So it's kind of cool that they enjoyed this and they've just kept it going. Yes, Kelly.
Oh, I'm sorry, accident. I don't know how that happened.
I'm having a hard time hearing you.
I don't know how that happened. I'm sorry. Can you hear me?
Still difficulty. I don't know if you can adjust the volume, or can you type in your question? Here we go. Okay. Raised my hand without me oh, okay. Huh. Okay, I will stand by. And Lindsay will be right back. Okay, people are dropping like flies. Well, I'm going to keep going because people can pick up what they need. We don't want to be here forever. So knowing who the business is important. And then I have a couple of videos for you to watch. They're not very long, but they talk about understanding brand, and that's important. My favorite is Steve Jobs, because he talks about Apple. They don't sell, yes, they do sell computers, but that's not their focus. They sell creativity. They sell support for being different. And they just happen to use computers to do it. So yeah, emotion ads, it's wonderful. Apple, I sort of have a soft spot for, especially regarding Twin Falls. Years ago, when he and Steve Wozniak were still in the garage phase of their business, literally, they had scraped barely enough money together to be able to do their first commercial. And it's the one where the anvil, I think it is swung, or the hammer is swung, and it hits Big Brother, and it can no longer watch because you're different and you're special and you do your own thing. Anyway, in order to be able to get backing, they had to win some prize money for that commercial. And they didn't have much money. They were already down to eating peanut butter sandwiches. So Steve called around to every different TV station in the entire country, looking for the cheapest place to be able to play their commercial. This was back before TV was 24 hours long, and they wanted the last commercial of the evening just before the little dial went on and the TV went off. And they found that Twin Falls, Idaho was the cheapest place to be able to have airtime. So during the month of December, because it had to play for a certain number of times, and whatever year it was, they played that commercial in Twin Falls for the required number of times so that it could be entered for contest, and it has won the most awards of a TV commercial in history. So they have a soft spot for Twin Falls, Idaho as well. It's pretty cool. Let's see, creating brand logo, know your customers, all of that good stuff. Let's see, where was I going? Oh, I know. Does anybody have any difficulty being able to, have you had a chance to look at the videos yet? And did anybody have any difficulty accessing the videos, if you have had a chance to go to them? Okay, no issues there. And have you watched all of them? Okay. I'm going to move all of them from the WMV. I'm going to be putting all of them in YouTube. That's a plan for tomorrow, and that should take care of that. So if you're still having trouble accessing the videos after tomorrow, let me know, but that should take care of it. Thanks, Barbara. Okay. Let's settle in and get talking about our topic.
Can you hear me now, Robin?
I can hear you now. You're still very faint, but I can hear you.
Okay. Is that better?
No, it's the same.
How about that? How about now?
That is better. That's much better.
Okay. I'll leave it there then. I don't know. It turned off. It raised my hand, and you asked me if I had a question, and I'm like, well, I didn't do that, and then all of a sudden it became haywire for a minute.
It's just special. Well, I'm glad you're back. So, Module 1 worksheet. Who is the company? The company is still so new, and I decided I didn't want to put Lindsay on the spot for all of these things because she may not have the answers. Backing up a bit, I had started this, the Twin Falls Publishing, as originally a project based for the class so that I had something to work with you guys on, because the companies that I was planning to work with didn't, well, one closed and one is having some legal issues. So not working with them, I didn't have time to get others, and I did this. So I just set up the Twin Falls Publishing. And then Lindsay had contacted me that she was interested in doing something, and knowing that she's very business savvy and that she has great people skills and typing and stuff, so I knew this was a good fit for her. I talked with her, and she went, yes, I would love to do it. And so rather than putting her on the spot as business owner, after talking with her, we decided that it would be better to allow her to continue her role as student in the class, and everything would go through me so that she can have that full learning opportunity as well, and she won't be at a disadvantage while she's building her repertoire of ideas as well. Does that make sense to people? I hope. So you'll run things through me?
Yeah, that works.
Is that still okay with you, Lindsay?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Okay. So the top item, discuss the company, discuss the products or services, location, length of time. Let's see. So what the product is a publishing company, Twin Falls Publishing. It's online, so it's a virtual company. Its home base is Twin Falls, but actually not specifically in Twin Falls. And the goal is to work with senior citizens primarily, although it could be anybody, to record the family stories, the family history, and make it available to others so that that rich history doesn't get lost. That's available. The length of time in business is limited, but that isn't so critical. Overarching long-term goals, well, I have no doubt Lindsay's going to do great things with the company. So, initial goals are to get a first marketing campaign in place and build a base clientele. There is no mission statement set yet for the company. We're going to come back to this question after we've finished answering the others, and I'm going to ask you guys a couple of questions toward that end. Before we can determine a mission statement, though, we have to understand more about the product and the company, and we have to understand what types of emotions, just like with the ads, what types of emotions we're trying to make customers feel. So the product that we're working with, the memoirs, we're not really looking for hugely high-end. In her research, she had shown me that some companies charged as much as $80,000. That's just crazy. It's more enough to be able to make at least some profit, but not break the bank. So more of a middle-of-the-road marketing strategy. We could have gone for low cost, or she could have gone for low cost. She could have gone for high-end, so Walmart, Saks kind of feel either way. But it's more of a generic center, middle of the road. So that wouldn't be something that you would focus on as a marketing. That's more of a background because it's not a feature for the company, how its pricing structure is set up. As far as feeling words, you guys tell me, when you think about memoirs, when you think about reading family stories, what feeling words come to mind?
Something about not losing grandma.
Okay.
The essence of a person not disappearing. What would that be?
Okay. What else? And I'll wait for everyone to take a turn.
I'm sorry, I cut out there for a second. Were we talking about the mission statement itself, and we're talking about something that gives us a feeling?
We're talking about feeling words. When you think memoirs, senior citizens, family history, what kinds of feeling words come to mind, or feeling phrases?
Family roots.
And what do you feel when you think family roots?
Security, stability,
Familiarity.
These are great. Keep going.
Comfort.
Nice. Christian, Lindsay?
how about like an immortal legacy, something that can be passed on forever?
Nice.
And recognition.
Yeah. Still waiting for Lindsay and Keith to join in. Are you there, both of you? Okay. Well, I need your input. What's a word that you would use as a feeling word? Christian, are you there? Christian, what's a feeling word that you would use to describe family history and family stories? Heritage, great. That's nice. Okay. These are great words. And they all have some things in common. They all have that comfort and stability. They all, that sense of continuity. and value. So they all tie into that. Those are great. Coming to number 5. This is a unique product because we're at a crossroads. We have elderly people who are passing on stories, but they may not have the computer skills to be able to put them into a print format or into an e-book format. So the goal is to be able to take them to that level. You don't want to use customer service because everybody says, oh, we're different. We have good customer service. And that just makes me want to gag because everybody thinks they have great customer service. So how are you going to be different? That's what I want to see. What is it different besides that? So in this case, what's different is that the product is somewhat unique in the way it's being delivered and the way it's being produced. Number 6, list at least 3 realistic sales goals. And let's make those pretty straightforward. Let's see. So one sales goal could be by the end have completed 3 books for customers. So actually instead of that, let's say gained 3 customers. It'll go small for now, or gentle. Better to go low and then be impressive. Another realistic sales goal, and these you're going generic for now. When you get to the end of your plan, you'll back up and you'll make them more specific. For example, I'm going to put in that build Facebook following to 250 likes. Well, by the time you get to the end, you may decide that Facebook isn't one of the options you want to choose for your marketing plan. Well, then you just adjust this and not include this specific sales goal. You'd replace it with something that would apply more directly to what you've decided to focus on. But this at least gives you something to target as you're moving forward. And then one more sales goal. Anybody have an idea? Okay, let's make it something present information about Twin Falls Publishing to at least 3 organizations or businesses. So that's the kind of thing. Everything is measurable. So the plan is 3 months. You don't want to run an advertising campaign longer than that, or marketing campaign, because people get tired of whatever it is that you're doing. So you have a time frame. You have a specific measurable goal. And at the end of that 3-month period, you're able to say, did I gain 3 people? Yes or no. Did I build Facebook to 250 likes? Yes or no. So everything I can determine if the return on investment did meet the expectation. I want you to work on a tagline. I don't require you to create a tagline, but your finished presentation is going to be a lot stronger if you do. We're back to hearing the banging. Thank you. Can someone give me an example of a tagline?
hometown service with a smile.
There you go. Exactly. There's always Nike. What's Nike's?
Just do it.
Just do it, yep. So as you're coming up with taglines, be creative. I do not require you to develop a logo. Some people just don't have that ability. But I do strongly encourage you to do that because it makes it a whole lot more fun if you take time to develop those creative materials. And your finished product will be a lot stronger as a result. We're going to give the campaign budget as being $1,000. So that's your total marketing budget. So $333 a month, or $666 one month, and $100 and maybe $0 for month 3. That depends on what you want to do. And then the last thing that you want to ask people is if there's any other information that you should know about their company before you're getting going. Now, let's say you finish with this class and you are working with somebody else and you want to help them build a marketing plan. Make sure that you keep them talking. I know I've done all the talking because, well, sort of trying to coordinate this. Ask leading questions. Can someone give me an example of a leading question?
Maybe something that's open-ended, that's not a yes or no question, something that actually takes discussion to get to the answer.
Exactly. Exactly. You want to make sure that people have to answer with more than yes or no. Perfect. As you're meeting with your customers, take strong notes, because it's not necessarily what they say, it might be how they say it. So extra little notes. If you have any questions, make sure you follow up. Yes?
What did you mean by submit to 3 organizations? To sell, for them to buy something, or just to get your word out, like a Better Business Bureau? What did you mean by present to 3 organizations?
If you are part of the Chamber of Commerce, you oftentimes they have different businesses present short snippets, especially new businesses that are just coming in, so that they can learn about your business. You can be a guest speaker in a class. You can go to a senior center and talk with them about your product. Sometimes giving discount coupons or doing different things. So it's basically taking time to speak as an expert at least 3 times to either nonprofits or for-profits so that people start getting to know you and your product. Does that help?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay, good. So now that you've taken time to put those feeling words in, family roots, security, stability, familiarity, you've had a chance to think about the product and how it would be used. Your next area is the mission statement. So it's not something that's very long. It's usually a sentence or 2, and that's all. So you encapsulate what it is that you want people to feel when they are using your product or service. So when you write the mission statement, you are writing to address the feeling or feelings that you want people to have. So it might be something along the lines of seeking to help families. The mission of Twin Falls Publishing is to help families record historical family data and keep it in a permanent format so that history lives on, or so that family members live on in the hearts of others. It can be something that simple. So that the essence of a person is continues to set the immortal legacy for each valued member of a family and protect the heritage. So you're using those feeling words to pull back in and write your sentences in the mission statement, because everything that you can do that ties back into those feeling words supports your total product. When we get further in, we'll start talking about colors and shapes and different items that you can use to continue to support the feelings, and different ways that you can put items together. Would you put, if you were trying to create a feeling of comfort, would you be more likely to include a picture of a hot apple pie coming out of a grandma's oven and she's holding on to it? Or would you have a fast race car going down a coastal highway? Or is there another image that comes to mind?
The coastal highway sounds nice.
But not a whole lot for family heritage. But I agree. It does sound nice. So that's what I'm asking you to do, is look at each one of these. So, for example, then this whole thing shouldn't take you more than about half an hour or so, maybe 45 minutes. When you are discussing the company, you're putting in a sentence. Twin Falls Publishing publishes family memoirs and in a variety of formats. The end. Their location is online, and they're hoping over time to grow. Mission statement, you're going to write something. Product or service that you're focusing on for the marketing campaign is getting the brand name recognition. There's another type of marketing available, and that's product-based marketing. So you might, if you were doing product-based, you might focus on Nike Air, or the shoe specifically. If you're doing brand marketing, which is what we're going to be doing in this case, you would be marketing Nike entirely as a business, not just one type of shoe. So in this case, we're doing brand marketing. We're getting the name of the company more well known. So just a sentence. The marketing campaign will focus on the expansion as far as brand recognition for the Twin Falls Publishing name. Pricing levels will be middle of the road, and it will not be a target focus for the plan. It'll list your 5 feeling words so that you can evoke the attitude that you're trying to get across. Maybe you have a different vibe. Maybe you have a different idea. That'd be cool. What makes it unique? So a sentence about that. You'd list sales goals. You're welcome to use these 3 goals. That works just fine. You're going to create a tagline, create a logo. You already know the budget of $1,000. And if there's something else that you want to ask, yeah, feel free to email me and let me know. So my point is, I just want you to start thinking about the business itself, okay? And that way you can start getting comfortable with it and start pushing the boundaries. Anybody have any questions about this assignment?
So regarding question number 10, can you hear me okay, Robin?
Yes, I can. You're back down to being quiet, but I can hear you.
Okay, how's that?
Much better.
Okay, wonderful. Okay, so regarding number 10 then, do you think that it would be that a customer with, or potential customer, I should say, would wonder whether or not we have an in-house editor or perhaps an art director for the documents or what have you that we're doing for these people? Are they local or not? Is that kind of what you're talking about?
Sure. If you have any questions about the business, yeah, you'd go ahead and ask me. And in this case, everything would be local, either contracted locally or would be done in-house.
Okay, wonderful. That works. Thank you.
Anybody else have questions?
They're going to be able to create a book in-house?
It will actually go through a third-party publishing company and be available through them. That will protect the files from possible security risks. And then people can order books to be sent even overnight. And they can be in print format or they can get them in ebook format. It'll make a nice Christmas present.
Yeah, and a gift card, like a grandchild for grandma who has everything, that would be a great gift for the granddaughter to give for Christmas or something.
Exactly.
That's definitely a Facebook push.
Mm-hmm. Keep that in mind. That's a great idea for in your plan. Any other questions that you'd want, or more information that you'd want to know about the company?
Yeah, sure. So in other words, our specialty for Twin Falls Publishing is to gather this historic information so that it obviously doesn't get lost in the cracks as generations move forward. Can this company also have the ability to do other things, notably like more specializing in whatever perhaps another company needs you to do something, or like write a book of policies, or things of that sort, like business history books, things of that sort?
Sure, you bet. Lindsay?
I'm just going to respond to that. That's something that I'm planning on down the road, is expanding into other avenues further than not just the basic stories, but further than the history, kind of expanding into more avenues like that is definitely something that I'll be looking at further once this is basically proven as a viable business.
Sure. Yeah, that's why I was asking. I was just wondering. I know that you're starting small. I was just curious, of how you're going to adapt to the different market forces, I guess, if that makes sense.
Yeah, definitely.
And if you're willing to step outside the box when you need to and just say, yeah, we can do this for you, sure.
Oh, for sure. That is definitely something that I'm willing to do.
Awesome. Yeah, that's a great idea, seriously, Lindsay.
And as we look at different marketing ideas, keep in mind that anytime you're doing marketing, you have to pick a specific segment, because you just don't have that much money. You would not market to a 22-year-old who's wanting to go to a day spa the same way that you would market to a 55-year-old who's going to a day spa. One would be looking for different color palettes and a video that would be more short with specific scenes, and someone else might be looking for softer colors, quieter music, and if they were looking at videos, they would have fewer edits, fewer choppy edits. So it depends on who you're reaching.
Right.
In our case, for this specific product, and we're just focusing on the memoirs for this, is the seniors that would likely be the ones recording the stories be the primary market that you'll be marketing to?
Are you asking me that?
I'm asking everyone.
I would say that we should
Having trouble hearing you again.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can. I don't know what you do, but it sure makes a big difference.
The volume, I'm changing the volume on above my little talk button because it keeps automatically turning down.
Oh, odd. Okay.
At any rate, I think I understand what you mean. Like, we should, we're playing to a certain crowd right now. Our focus is narrowed, but I think that we should also, I think, like Lindsay was saying, I mean, we do have the ability to go there, but this is what we specialize in.
Exactly.
Saying that we specialize in this, but we can also do many other things as well. I think that you're going to attract several different crowds. I think Grandma is going to be talking to her daughter about building a book. You think about the baby book that you could make for your grandchild. I mean, it would be insane. Instead of just a bunch of sort of scrapbook thrown together things, you would have all sorts of things. It'd be like I don't even know, a high school yearbook of somebody's life.
I think that's a good point. I really do. My focus right now is mostly on family. I think that's kind of the branding that I'm going towards, is family, remembering stories from family when they're here to actually tell them, so that you can remember them when they're not here. Or if you have a child that moves across the country, or there's always stories that could be shared. It doesn't necessarily mean an elderly person who has passed, anything like that, but just really the family side, but kind of focusing more on that, because I really do think there's a need for those stories to be passed on before it's too late. So that's kind of, like you said, where I feel like I'm starting and branching from.
Plus, there's every different kind of way to market. And there's every different kind of segment. If you try to market to all of them at the same time, you're going to dilute your message so much that no one's going to get your message. Yes, Barbara?
What was your suggested target market? Was that the 55-year-old? Is that what you said, or did you just say Grandma?
Well, if Grandma is the one who's going to be recording the story and getting their information down on paper, is she the same person that your primary target market is?
I don't know. I don't know if Grandma would be the one you'd sell it to. She might be afraid of being forgotten, but I think the one that wants to remember her is going to be your 40 to 55-year-old that's afraid of losing Mom.
Exactly.
And wants to hold on to what she can.
Exactly. So that it's called the 80-20 rule. You could go toward that 20% market that is going to be that senior group, but you're going to reach a larger group of people. You're more likely to have success if you target on the 40 to 55 group. They have money and they have the desire to record and save that family information for posterity. Yes, Lindsay?
So when you say multiple marketing channels, do you mean kind of starting in the 80% realm where there's more people that you can reach and then it expanding from there, and once it expands, using the other avenues, or I'm kind of confused by that?
Marketing channels are the formats that you're going to use to reach people. Facebook, Twitter, TV, radio, those are all different channels you can use, and then you can cross-use them to support each other. Maybe you'd use a TV to advertise your web space. You'd use your web space to advertise an open house. So all of these different things are different channels. The market segments are the different ways you can divide up a market so that you can spend your money. You want to spend the least amount of money to reach the most people. So if you can target about a 15-year age range, figure out where they are, what they are doing, and market to them at where they are, and you're more likely to have success.
Okay, that makes sense.
And we'll get into that more next time when we're working on identifying your customer base and identifying your competition. We'll get into those in worksheets 2 and 3. So did you have any questions about what I'm asking you to do this week? And next week. Well, this week is your intro. This week and next week is that worksheet. It doesn't have to be an essay. You can just put the number and jot down your answers. Or you can write an essay if you prefer. It doesn't need to be very long.
Is our Module 1, everything that's due going to be Module 1, or do we have more than one module due on the same week?
No.
Okay.
Not that I know of. If you look at the schedule, you can see.
It's linear. Okay.
I figure all of the work this week should take you about an hour total, plus maybe an hour to watch the videos and read the textbook.